So this was a simple question, XX, XY. Did the Y lose a leg or did the legs fuse? It was an interesting question. And maybe the answer is simpler still. Or maybe, like Dude said, the male just closed his legs and called it evolution. That shit was funny. And it kind of sent me on a little rabbit hole for a couple days. I learned a lot more than I remembered, a lot more than I thought. But that is what convergence looks like, compression with purpose. So 2 days later, I'd gone from not remembering as much about DNA to decoding the various scrolls of life. And all I did was follow curiosity. That's how you remember. That's the real science, wonder without walls. But it's also the very thing that keeps science stuck, and why someone like me can navigate it the way that I do with no degrees or no formal settings. But anyway, it is story time. And this is the story of the thread. So picture the nucleus. It's like tiny little universes inside of a cell. Now inside it we have chromosomes, which look like little people. But there's 46 spools of coiled possibility. Now each one is like a ball of yarn wound up so tight that the middle barely ever feels the rain. Now you ever see something rolled up so tight that when it gets wet, some areas don't get wet? Yeah, it's like that. And that's the memory we call DNA. Now when life needs to sing a verse, enzymes come in like little librarians, loosening one scroll at a time so that the story can be read. Now helicase opens the book and topoisomerase eases the tension. Fuck that word. I probably said that wrong, I don't care. But then we have histones. And come on though, his tones, and they decide which bars to play. Source is genius, bro, but they're little gray drums that wrap the melody of creation around. Now, when they have the right chemical tags, the strands start to sing. And that is what we call gene expression, and it's basically divine improv. But let's talk about that parable of convergence. Now, at the dawn of separation, X stood whole. 2 arms of balance. And then Y folded one arm back, the long one, and it does look a hell of a lot like a leg. Kind of like a question mark learning to walk. But it's not a fracture, it was focus, and it was not loss, it was direction. Now, that's why outward energy is masculine, but the feminine came to rest inward, in the womb. Now, that's also why humans look like walking penises with arms, because they are the masculine principle action of the Divine Mother. I saw it, and now you got to see it too. But the two mirrors of the same current, projection and reception. Now this is masculine and feminine principle 101. But then we have the candles of time, and this is where it got interesting. So every copy of a cell burns a little wax from its wick, and those wax tips are called telomeres. And when the candle burns out, so do you. It's really interesting that we burn candles for our birthday. But then, by no coincidence whatsoever, I see a random post about Planerian Flatworms and how they're basically immortal because they regenerate themselves fully when they're cut in half. Meaning they not only grow the missing layer back, they grow all of themselves back and become like a whole separate one. So Planerian Flatworms never let their candles burn out. They keep the flame by dividing from the center. Their telomeres are singing eternal renewal, and we are not. So naturally I wondered, why don't we do the same? And so humans divide from exhaustion, forgetting the centromere, which is the still point that keeps both of the arms alive. Now, that's why we age, because we keep copying from momentum instead of origin. But immortality isn't a switch, it's a governance system. Enzymes, brakes, blueprint, breath. And from everything I can see, if you turn on the flame without the structure, you get chaos. And in this case, that means that the cells literally won't stop dividing. So that's the biological version of a mind that won't stop talking, like mine. Anyway, but in conclusion, they're more than just candles. It's the whole biological stack. And also, this is what cancer cells do. And if we could flip the switch here, that means those guys and all the others keep dividing also. But let's talk about the inner mirror, the chromatin. That's the colored stuff, as they call it. That was named because it glowed under dye. But chroma means color, and tin means metal. So it makes sense, right? But color plus metal equals what? Living quicksilver, Mercury, the messenger, shimmering between worlds, which aligns with Hermes and the back and forth ability to cross realms as a messenger. So that is what your chromatin is. It's light translated into form, and it's sound condensed into flesh. The mirror of Mercury living inside your nucleus. Now, the bridge to all this is, what did we really learn in 48 hours of rabbit holes? The curiosity is the enzyme, wonder is the solvent, and humility is the centromere that keeps it all balanced. Science and spirit is the same shit. It's the same language. One just writes in equations and the other writes in metaphor. But this is what decoding reality looks like. It's why my mini experiences seem so simple, because it teaches you how to do this very thing. Give me any pattern, a bug, a brain, a universe, and I will unwind that shit. Because the structure of truth is fractal. And I don't need to know the technical first, especially when I understand the patterns. And they can reveal any complexity out there. We are the architects, we are the builders, and we are the bridge. The ones who remember how to read the scrolls of light and write new ones into being. So yeah, maybe the male just closed his legs. But in that convergence, the cosmos did learn to dance with itself. And so now I put it back to you guys. What can we pull on this to go even deeper?